So, you see the truck running behind me? That's because it's going to Diesel Doctor. They're a shop that's about an hour from my house, and everyone I know that has used them said they're really good. So I'd rather bring it to someone a little farther away than someone nearby that I've heard bad things about. So I'm bringing it there. So right now the truck, it's getting harder and harder to start. So that's probably like a lift pump or injection pump, something with fuel, I'm gonna assume. It also had something with the starter. It's like a bad connection. You gotta turn the key like 10 times for it to start. I think that's a Ford problem. And of course I want a little bit more power. So it's gonna probably get a lift pump, some injection pump work, a tune, and probably injectors. And hopefully it pushes it to around that 350 horsepower mark. So the reason why you are probably saying, oh, why don't you just do it yourself? Well, try farming 600 acres and then work on your truck at the same time. I want to drive the truck, so I'm just going to pay someone to do it. And then in the winter time, we're going to do lots of other stuff, such as track bars for sure, a bunch more aesthetics, more of the simpler stuff, but the stuff that makes the truck look good. And some for functionality too. Let's go. So we're here at the Diesel Doctor, and we just talked with the guy. He said what I want is no problem. So while we're here, we're just gonna take a quick look at these vehicles. It seems as though they specialize in Ford Power Stroke stuff, but there is a Cummins outside here, and they do a lot of Cummins stuff too. But maybe the reason why they work on Ford so much is because they're always broken. As you can hear, my truck's running. It's running a lot better. So we'll explain more in depth what got done, but for now we're going to drive it home. Open my door. The truck is back, has a ton more power. So only one issue. There is a loud squeaking noise and stuff coming from the truck that was not there before. I think I thought maybe the bed was a little loose, but that's not it. That's what's making a noise. What is it? That is the gas tank protector. So the first upgrade that was done to my truck is injectors from BD Performance. And we got some sunglasses. They have nothing to do with this truck, but we got them for free, so we're gonna take a look at them. And whatever one we grab is the one we're gonna wear. We don't know if they're gonna be our style or not. Oh, this one. I'm gonna take this one. This one has something loose in the box. Yeah, the glasses case. Yep. So it'll probably look the same. And what's this? Oh, it's a thank you card. Did you get the cool ones? Blue ones. Oh, you got blue ones. Those will be okay. We got gold ones. Oh, it's like a sealable bag. The packaging's pretty nice. Yeah, those are fancy. Do we look all right? Comes with cleaning cloth. I guess this is like a cool little card to get. See the difference with Sykes' polarized sunglasses. It's like a thank you thing. Nice case.
Suitable for driving, fishing, skiing, riding, and outdoor sports.
And driving diesel trucks. So I'll just quickly explain the injectors. So that was the first thing that the shop diesel doctor did to my truck. So these are a set of, well, the stock ones are in here because they're already on the truck, but that's, if you're wondering what injectors look like, it's something like this. I guess here's the injector and here's the nozzle, something like that. So those are stock. I'm sure the other ones look exactly the same, but these are 100 over injectors. So it's on a Fummins, at least. I know a Duramax is a different story, or a Power Stroke, but this is actually a reasonably cheap upgrade for anyone looking to get a little more power out of their diesel truck. So for this, I'll talk price. So this installed, everything done. So if you just want injectors done, it's like, it was 1,600 Canadian dollars. So that, you know, you're looking at under 1,500 bucks if you live in the States, and that'll give you like 100 horsepower. So which equals more than 100 foot-pounds of torque. So that's a reasonably cheap upgrade.
It's actually cheap power.
It's pretty cheap power. And I know on these, I did some research. Don't quote me if it's not accurate, but I know on these VP trucks that it's easier on the injection pump somehow to have 100 over injectors. Now I have a built pump, but if you have a stock injection pump, from what I read on the forums, which are always 100% accurate, running 100 over injectors is easier on your pump, and it won't burn out your pump as fast.
And we have 2 more sets of glasses from Sykes USA. We'll try them out in another video. Ford authorized modifications. Come swap.
Anyways, so the other, I guess the main thing that was replaced and done by Diesel Doctor was the hot rod injection pump from BD Performance. It says on the rundown here it should add about 100 horsepower. So I'll take their word for it, but we'll find out on a dyno one day. So if you know anything about these Cummins, you know VP44s are trouble. So this one should be more reliable, and it also, yeah, should be more reliable.
It's got a wire.
It's got the wire already. So if you know about chipping these, you gotta like open the thing and add a wire to the one wire. So the wire's already exposed, so it's a lot easier to just add a chip to it later on. So we might be doing that down the road. I don't know for sure.
Then we can roll coal.
Already does.
Roll more coal.
So the reason why injection pumps tend to go bad on these trucks, well, the main reason why is because the stock lift pumps that come on these motors, and yeah, so that went bad, caused the injection pump to go bad. So they need at least, these pumps need at least 10 psi. Ours was at 10 psi on startup. As soon as you put it in gear and start driving, it drops to 3 psi. So that is the reason why the injection pump went bad. So to fix that, Diesel Doctor always puts a fast pump on these trucks right away. So this is a 95 GPH titanium kit, which should run a constant 10 to 15 psi to that injection pump, which should keep that injection pump running good. Eventually I'm going to get either a tuner or a gauge so that I know for sure the fuel pressure is good, but when the pump's brand new, that shouldn't be a problem. I haven't took a close look at this yet to see exactly how these are even set up. I don't remember from when we did Josh's truck, so we're going to put it on a hoist and take a look from underneath. So I knew about these lift pump problems before I bought the truck. Now the last owner told me it was replaced, it's brand new. So I took his word for it, and the truck still drove pretty fine. Well, I haven't driven a 24 valve truck, so I didn't know exactly how they drove. Didn't feel totally underpowered, so I thought it was fine. And even Diesel Doctor said the lift pump looks brand new. It was shiny. So it must have just been either a defective pump or just went bad. Maybe that's why the owner sold it to me. He knows that it can cost a little bit of money to get that fixed. Either way, it went bad and we got a fast lift pump now. That's not the reason. The reason it went bad is not because we sprayed ether in the truck or we ran out of fuel that one time. That's just ridiculous. It drove the same before that and after we ran out of fuel. For all you haters. Now put on the hoist. It's on the hoist, so we'll show you the fast fuel system. Always remember when you're going to be under a vehicle, wear your eye protection. That's what we have these for. Let's start looking. So we'll just do a quick look under here, because we haven't done that yet. And at the same time, we'll show you that fast like we're supposed to do.
Looks like that the engine used to be yellow.
It was. So I was just thinking,
And like here, he forgot to paint.
I'm pretty positive this is out of a Dodge pickup, but being yellow like that, you always wonder if it's out of like a cat bulldozer, a small bulldozer.
There's Mike's new starter. Took him 5 to get it to work.
Apparently they had a big trouble with the starter because either there's not all the DCS parts for that, and they're just trying to use a stock Ford flex plate or whatever you call that, or something else is wrong, because you're with the DCS stuff, stock starter is supposed to work, so obviously something's not right there, so they just shimmed it out to a point where it works. So now it works. So
That's a pretty big stock downpipe for a 6.4, eh?
it's probably not for a 6.4.
It looks like it is. Doesn't look like we
Maybe
changed
modified up above.
it. Maybe.
So with the glasses on, you can see the fast here. So I wouldn't say it's the way I would have installed one, but I'd say it's more permanent, as they welded it to the cab, or the
cab
yeah,
mount.
the cab mount. I guess it's on there better than it should be.
It's on there better than my Duramax.
And have fun replacing your cab mount if you ever have to do that. Fords aren't made to last long enough that you have to replace cab mount.
And the sump.
So yeah, the sump. So for the sump, they need to remove the factory protector, which whether it's needed or not, I don't know for sure, but if it's not a lot of work, I'd like to cut a hole and a little slit so that we can put it back on, because I think that's more functional. Hopefully they gave me the bolts back. If not, I'll ask them. Yeah, I've never been under a Ford like this before. Dana 80.
Pretty Ford looking.
Airbags. 5R100 something.
Looks like a big heavy-duty transfer case. Look at the size of that sucker. Like, here's my hand in comparison.
And Josh has girly hands.
And I have girly hands. Because look how big they are compared to this filter. See? So if you know how big the filter is, then you know how big my hands are, and you know how big the transfer case is. Perfect.
I wonder if this slotted diff cover's stock.
Probably not. It's also yellow.
Also has no spare tire for weight reduction, obviously. Some sketchy little wiring. That's probably for these lights that I don't remember if they work or not.
They do sometimes.
Once in a while.
It's like Arabic writing on there.
There is. It starts with a J, and then the rest kind of sounds like.
So, that piece right there, we just saw us. Did you film us test fitting it?
No, I don't.
Okay, well we just test fitted it quick, and yeah, it needs some minor cosmetic modifications. So, we're not going to get around to that today, but if I decide it needs it, then we'll end up modifying that, and you can see how to do that in the future
video. Let's go test drive.
Yes. So, turns out I have to drive my truck to pick up a generator for the farm. So I'm gonna give you guys a first-hand ride along. It should be pretty good. $5. Yeah. Because I'm gonna do a takeoff from like stock. Well, rolling a little bit because I don't want to break the tires loose. Let's go down. Make sure it's in first gear. I'll stop. I think it'll be in first gear now. Get rolling. It's forward. That's over 60. I don't know how many seconds that was. Probably still like 5 or 6, but it's pretty good for a wheelie, I would say. This is the first heavy load, pretty close to oversized load that we did with this truck.